The choice about how it gets deployed is ours. Good morning, everyone. I take this opportunity to humbly receive and welcome all the eminent and distinguished personalities. I humbly welcome Dr. Shaili Asthana ma'am, Dr. Parvez Aslam sir, and Dr. Kejal Barsakhe ma'am. I humbly receive and welcome the most courageous and charismatic principal, TJIS Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, respected Ms. Shikha Srivastava ma'am, the compassionate vice principal, respected Ms. Deepti Saraf ma'am, sincere coordinators, devoted educators, and mentors to this inter-school student-led competition and conference on artificial intelligence as a part of
Envision 4.0, AI for Earth, AI for All. Today, we gather not just to compete, but to collaborate, ideate, and innovate on a subject that is revolutionizing the world. A warm welcome to our esteemed guests, dignitaries, respected jury members, participating schools, teachers, and students.
To illuminate this morning with wisdom, knowledge, and divine blessings, let the light of knowledge guide us through this intellectually enriching journey. We now invite our dignitaries on stage for the auspicious lighting of the lamp.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धि
our voices and hearts as we present the JGI School song, a melodious reflection of our ethos and vision.
Dr. Shaili Asthana Ma'am, Principal at Bhausab Birajda Senior College of Arts and Science, Dharashiv. Ma'am had worked with MGM University's Institute of Indian and Foreign Languages as an associate professor and director. Ma'am is MA English, MA Hindi and PhD English. Ma'am has over 20 years of teaching experience at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels with various prestigious institutes such as Sinhagad College of Commerce, Pune, JES College, Jalna. Ma'am is a recognized research guide of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Marathwada University and MGM University, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Ma'am has published many research papers at national and international levels. We are fortunate to have Dr. Asthana Ma'am among us today. May I now request Honorable Principal Ma'am to present our esteemed jury member, bouquet and a memento as a token of love and affection.
Does the greatest things. He's the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. Quote unquote Ronald Reagan. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce you all a learned and distinguished educationist, Dr. Parvez Aslam Sir. Sir is an associate professor and head of English department at Lok Seva College of Arts and Science. Sir is a coordinator at IQAC and he was a program officer and district director at NSS BAMU, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. We are fortunate to have Dr. Parvez Aslam Sir on board being the jury member of Envision 2025. Now I request respected Principal Ma'am to present Sir bouquet and a memento as a token of love and affection.
Success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Quote unquote Jack Welch. It is with great pleasure that I introduce a distinguished member of our jury panel, Dr. Kejal Bharsakhe Ma'am, educationist, NCS career counselor, cum career coach, and soft skills trainer. Dr. Kejal Ma'am is a renowned figure in various spheres with a profound dedication to advancing women's empowerment and holistic development. Ma'am is the founder of the Association for Women in Sports and serves as the director at AEVPM's Women's College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar. Recognized for her exemplary contributions, Dr. Kejal Ma'am has been awarded the Promising Women Changemaker of the Year 2023 for her dedication to women's career development. Additionally, her efforts in promoting women's empowerment in sports have earned her the Women Empowerment in Sports Recognition Award and many more for her contribution in various fields. May I now request Honorable Principal Ma'am to present our esteemed jury member, bouquet and a memento as a token of love and affection.
Interaction with AI means designing, developing, and deploying artificial intelligence systems in ways that puts human needs, values, and well-being at the core. Here's a concise breakdown of what this approach involved.
As AI continues to evolve and integrate into our daily lives, it's essential that we keep the focus on human-centered interaction. This means designing AI system that understands and respects our values, emotions, and individuality, making technology work for us, not against us. At the same time, the energy demands of AI are skyrocketing. And this leads to the second topic, environmental sustainability. Developing AI that is eco-friendly and energy efficient is crucial to ensuring that technological advancements don't come at the cost of our planet's future.
Both of these issues are the need of the hour, and today we will explore why it's essential to address them to build a future that is innovative, responsible, and sustainable.
As we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. Quote unquote Bill Gates. It is my honor to introduce the driving force behind our esteemed institution, respected Ms. Shikha Srivastava ma'am, Principal of TJS Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar. Ma'am has contributed tremendously since ma'am has joined the school over the past 6 years. Under ma'am's leadership, over past 6 years, the academic excellence of our students has reached unprecedented heights.
Ma'am has completed 2 decades in the field of education and has now embarked on third. With experience in various reputed ICSE and CBSE institutions, Ma'am has bagged many awards under her leadership for the contribution to the education system. The most recent one is the Principal of the Year award at the 22 EduLeader Summit and Awards held in Mumbai. Furthermore, Ma'am's research paper titled The Unveiling of Ratanbai was published in the International Journal of Multidisciplinary Research. A motivational speaker, a blogger, and a YouTuber, creating many educational and motivational videos, inspiring thousands of lives. We are highly blessed to have you as our guiding force now. To help us understand the intent and the spirit behind this competition and to officially set the tone for today's proceedings, I now invite our respected Principal Ma'am to set the tone for today's proceedings.
And Anish, thank you. At the outset, a very warm welcome to all of you to the Envision 2025 and inter-school student-led conference and competition on AI. Goals to transform the world. Respected jury members, Dr. Shaili Asthana ma'am, Dr. Parvez Aslam sir, and Dr. Kejal Bharsakle ma'am, esteemed patent innovators in the form of proud students, dedicated school teams, and coordinators. A very good morning to all of you. I humbly welcome at this dais. With the blessings of the Honorable Chairman, Dr. Chenraj Roychand Jain sir, Honorable CEO, JGI Schools, Dr. Chandrasekhar DP, Honorable Secretary, Dr. Mona Mehndi, Honorable Joint Secretary, Mrs. Lalita Kosaraju, it is my honor and privilege to have you all to Envision 2025. This year's theme is AI for Earth, AI for All. And the topics are prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI and encouraging environmentally sustainable AI. Your presence enriches this platform where young budding researchers have come together with innovation and thoughtful exploration. As the distinguished jury members, Dr. Shaili Asthana, Dr. Parvez Aslam, and Dr. Kejal Bharsakle bring invaluable wisdom to our proceedings and to our participating schools, student innovators, and the in-charges and the coordinators. Thank you for joining us in this celebration of innovation, scientific temper, and creativity. Now, it was very well stated by Arna to set the tone that why this time the Jain International School has changed the topic from the Sustainable Development Goals to the artificial intelligence. That is the need of the hour. Definitely, we are into the world of the artificial intelligence. At our fingertips, we are just going through any Gemini, Meta, or Open ChatGPT, OpenAI, and there are so many tools for the teachers, for the students to get any information at our fingertips. But to understand the sustainability quotient of AI and also to understand how much human intervention is needed in order to harness the potential of AI is something which is really the topic to research upon and the topic to make our young students to dive deep into it, because the tools which are available with us, maybe in and around on our mobiles or wherever we go on the digital platform, we come across so many things. But in order to understand that what are the pros, what are the consequences, how much is good to use, how much it is not good and healthy for us to use, for all the things we need to have our young citizens of India, that is you all, which will take this AI which has just come up, because we are from old school and this has just come up. You are the new people who is going to take it up and who is going to utilize it maybe in the years to come, in the future time to come. But you should know that what is the optimum use of it and how human intervention is very, very important. And rather I would say that the personal touch is very, very important. There have been so many such doubts and there have been so many such discourses, debates going on that we are being threatened by AI because the human jobs will go. Okay, now there will be so many AI jobs which is going to come maybe down the line 5 years or maybe 10 years. So I think a lot of researches have been done by the young student researchers over here, because abstract and research papers we just went through and the kind of research you people have done. Okay, it's really, really commendable. So I must applaud each and every one, give a huge round of applause for all the participants of all the teams, that is team 1 to team 7, because the kind of work which you have done, it just reflects that future is really in a safe hands. You people have come up with really good points, good research points, some really, really concrete argumentative points wherein you want to put your point forward. Either you have followed one topic, that's the first one, or the second topic. With this, like every year, I'm really very hopeful that the students must have done a lot of hard work in the entire process. Abstract research paper, as I just said, and the presentation today as well, along with the respective coordinator. I think much kudos to go. Congratulations to all the coordinators of the participating teams. A huge round of applause for your teacher in charges who have been actually working hand in hand right from the day the entire registration began. And the registration started once again to have a reminder for all the jury members as well. We started with the registration on 19th of June. 24th June it was closed. 1st of July abstract submission was done. 8th of July research paper submission was done. 15th July the PPT submission was done. And 31st July, that is today, we are going to have our final event. And we are just focusing on the two topics as I told it to you in the beginning only. Prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI, and the second is encouraging environmentally sustainable AI. I would like to just bring in front of you few points on both the topics. Like when it comes to the prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI, in today's rapidly growing, fast-paced technological landscape, it is essential that our approach to AI keeps human values, empathy, compassion, stewardship in its core. That is what human-centered AI entails too. Maintain human oversight and judgment in decision making. Many things you are getting. on the Google, on Gemini, on Meta, on ChatGPT. But how much, as I told earlier also, and how much human touch is required? You can get the inspiration from these resources, but you have to prioritize it in the human-centered way. Promote AI literacy, enabling students to critically understand the tools they use, why they work and how they can be responsibly deployed. This is into the hands of the educators, trainers, mentors and the coordinators. How much is too much? That is what every time the adults intervention, it is needed in order to facilitate your children. How much is too much and how much is to be used and to be deployed. At our school, when we talk about, we aim these principles in teaching and innovation. Definitely all the schools are really digitally very advanced. We encourage students to co-design and critically engage with AI. I think Envision is one such example wherein children, they really got the information. Talking about AI, they got the information from AI. That is AI for AI. But how much did they use their intervention in order to put across the abstract and the research? Encouraging environmentally sustainable AI. As we harness AI, we must also keep sight of its environmental footprint. I think carbon footprint everybody is aware about, isn't it? So when we had talked about those 17 sustainable goals for the 3 Envision, we were actually talking about all those things which were somewhere helping our environment towards our planet Earth, towards saving our planet Earth. So AI is also not away from it, because we all know that the data centers, they actually emit a lot of energy, which is again increasing the carbon footprint. So that particular aspect we also have to keep in mind. Today data centers already consume around 2% of global energy, and AI's footprint expected to rise sharply unless addressed responsibly. AI for good. A few months back, I think we had 1 or 2 the same panel in our faculty training program. Also we discussed about Ghibli photo art, came I think 6 months back, and everybody was like creating the Ghibli art, and we just like pouring those Ghibli photographs. But we were not aware about it, that how much energy was being actually dissipated, and how much global warming, that serious concern we were actually being the part of, unless and until the ChatGPT people, they just earnestly request us to stop making it. We are not able to process. So these things also, as students, as the young citizens of India and the globe, we must take care of. Truly sustainable AI must balance climate awareness and equitable access. Smart applications of AI in sustainability context, from energy management, waste reduction, climate modeling to ESG reporting, demonstrate its potential when oriented toward the planet's welfare. At Envision 2025, we especially welcome presentations and innovations that show AI as a force for environmental good, tools that optimize energy use, predict climate risk or reduce waste, designed with both human well-being and ecological resilience in mind. So again, my heartfelt congratulations and best wishes to go to all the participating teams, Team 1 to Team 7, and also to all the coordinators and the in charges. To the jury members, again in conclusion of my address, we are very grateful for your guidance and standards of excellence. Your reflections will elevate the work we see today and help shape the next generation of innovators. And also I'm really very grateful to Dr. Shaili, Dr. Parvez Aslam and Dr. Kejal for taking out the time from your busiest schedules, I know. Because Shaili ma'am is the principal, sir is the professor, he is the HOD, ma'am is the director, she is also the career counselor, career coach. Like, they are really busy people, but then also they are so much, their hearts really lie true to this Envision 2025, and they really always appreciate that the kind of entries and the kind of work which students do is really exemplary. So much thanks to all 3 of you once again, and much thanks to all the participating teams, the heads of the institutions of your school. My heartfelt regards to all the principals of your schools, that they really come up for this particular good cause. Who wins, Who loses, that is another story. But you are becoming a responsible citizen by being the part of the student-led competition and conference on AI. And thank you all for being the part of Envision 2025. Let's this journey begin, and best wishes from my end to all the participants. Once again, the stage is all yours. In some time, we will begin with our competition. Thank you so much.
The process of Envision 4.0 took a month's preparation right from deciding the eligibility criteria, the closure of registration process by 24 June, allotment of goals to the respective teams by 26 June, submission of abstract presentation by 1st July, submission of research paper by 8th July, and submission of PPT by 15th July. Today, our participants are all geared up and ready to go for the final oral presentation. I wish everyone all the best.
Participants, kindly note the evaluation process is as follows. Best abstract out of 10 marks. Relevance to the topic 5 marks. Word limit 2.5 marks. Formation adhesion 2.5 marks. Research article out of 10 marks. Relevance to the topic 2.5 marks. Presentation adhering to the format 2.5 marks. Plagiarism level should not be more than 10%, 2.5 marks. Methods, results, discussion or conclusion 2.5 marks. Oral presentation out of 10 marks. Involvement of team members 2.5 marks. Layout or design 2.5 marks. Expression and clarity of thoughts and concepts 2.5 marks. Confidence or communication skills 2.5 marks. Best speaker out of 10 marks. Clarity of thoughts 2.5 marks. Choice of vocabulary 2.5 marks. Communication of skill and pronunciation 2.5 marks. Confidence 2.5 marks.
The rules for the round are as follows. First, the time limit for each team is minimum 5 minutes and maximum 7 minutes. Second, the participants must not reveal the name of their schools during the presentation. Third, the participants need to say next for the slide change during the presentation. Fourth, a warning bell will be given after 6 minutes and a final bell after 7 minutes. I repeat, a warning bell will be given after 6 minutes and a final bell after 7 minutes. Now let us begin with the most awaited part of the day. Let us welcome Team 1. Their topic is Encouraging Environmentally Sustainable AI. And the participants are Ruddhi Bhakre, Grade 8, Tafanullah Khan, Grade 9 and Bharat Kai, Grade 10. Over to you. Your time starts now.
Good morning everyone. Today my name is Bharat Kale.
My name
We are
is Riddhi Bhakre.
And my name is Stefan Khan. Today we are going to explore this presentation. That is, can we create AI that not just advances technology but also helps in protecting our environment? And artificial intelligence is growing at a higher pace. But what is it costing us in terms of energy and sustainability? AI is already transforming key sectors, that is healthcare, transportation and energy. AI has brought us huge benefits like faster medical diagnosis, safe and safer driving cars and efficient energy management systems. But there's always a problem. AI has a problem regarding carbon emissions and electricity. To design and to train a higher level AI model, it requires as much energy as a small town does in a year. And this process contributes in carbon emission and also it contributes in e-waste through constant hardware upgrades. So it is we who should know that technology should come and it should not cost our planet at any cost. Our objective is, can we create AI that not just harm our planet, but it will rather help our planet to grow and develop each and every human being. from greener and eco-friendly friendly way, AI should transform our lives. I agree that AI is already transforming our key sectors, but it should not cost any agricultural and any environmental impact. AI is already being more greener and eco-friendly. Now I would like Vruddhi to please take over.
Now, I want to share a few thoughts on something that's both exciting and concerning: the environmental impact of AI. AI's environmental impact is a growing concern due to its reliance on energy intensive processes and hardware, which contributes to greenhouse gas emissions and e waste. Training AI models require a lot of electricity and powerful machines. These machines generate heat and take energy around the clock. Also, when the hardware gets old, it often ends up as e-waste, harming our environment. But here's the exciting part: AI can also help our planet. To understand it better, we move on to AI for sustainability, real world use cases. So, AI has an incredible potential to help the planet. Wait, let me explain with some examples. ADAS in cars, which means Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, like object or lane detection, which helps reduce accidents and save fuel. Second, wildlife camera with animal detection overlay. In forest, these cameras help detect animals, which can save wildlife and endangered species. Third, we have drone spraying crops. In smart agriculture, drones are used to spray only on the needed areas, which can help reduce the use of water as well as chemical. Fourth, wind turbines. AI can also help manage wind turbines efficiently and improves how we use renewable energy. Fifth, smart energy AI dashboards. Companies use these to track energy use, waste and water usage. This way, they can find better ways to save resources and reduce pollution. Now, I would like Tafan to take over.
The increasing use of AI raises concerns about its environmental impact, especially its energy consumption and carbon footprint. To address this, organizations are adopting greener AI strategies, focusing on sustainable practices throughout the entire AI life cycle. Here are some key strategies for the building and delivering greener AI solutions. First, model optimization techniques such as pruning, that is removing the redundant or low impact parameters, that is the weights or neurons from the neural network. From the neural network, reducing model size, computation and energy consumption. Some more examples of model optimization techniques include quantization and knowledge distillation. Second, energy efficient algorithms are designed to be lightweight and data structures are designed to reduce memory access. Using approximate computing where acceptable. Some more ways of making energy efficient algorithms include using specialized hardware and building green data centers. Sustainable deployment strategies such as edge and federated learning, that is processing data locally or collaboratively across distributed devices to reduce energy and emission costs. Of centralized cloud communications, some more sustainable deployment strategies include renewable energy integration and infrastructural design. 4. Environmental impact measurement and regulation. Next slide. Environmental impact measurement and regulation can be done using carbon and energy metrics, that is tracking energy per inference, emission per cost, and emission per training, and model carbon efficiency to benchmark and guide optimization. So here are some examples of AI-enabled green applications that support sustainability. Smart grids optimizing energy distribution and renewable integration, and precision agriculture reducing resource waste. This systematic approach balances AI performance with ecological progress for technological and sustainable development. Now I hand over the mic to Ruti.
Let's create AI that's not just intelligent but responsible too. Because a smarter future must also be a greener one. Together, we can code for the planet. Thank you.
Welcome Team 2. The topic is Encouraging Environmentally Sustainable AI. And the participants are Vedika Gadkar, Grade 8, Dhruvika Shinde, Grade 9, Anvesha Jain, Grade 10. Over to you Team 2, all the very best to you. And your time starts now.
Good morning to everyone present here, respected judges, teachers, mentors, and my dear friends. In a world driven by innovation, we come together with one purpose, to ensure that technology advances without leaving the earth behind. I'm Anvesha.
I am Dhruvika.
And I'm Vedika.
And together we are Team 2, proudly presenting our research on environmentally sustainable AI as a part of Envision 2025. Let's begin with our vision statement. True prosperity balances people, planet, and progress.
But what does this really mean in the world shaped by artificial intelligence? Well, AI is everywhere. Your voice assistant, your YouTube recommendations, your smartwatches. Everywhere there is AI. But what we must ask is, can we call this as a real progress when it is already harming our environment? That is why we are here to explore how we can make AI not just effective and intelligent, but responsible.
Environmentally sustainable AI means using AI tools without over-exploiting natural resources, ensuring innovation doesn't come at the cost of Earth's health, and creating a future where progress is green, clean, and inclusive. Let's now take a deeper look at the environmental impact of AI and what lies behind the screen.
Most of the people think AI is just a virtual tool. But, behind every chatbot or smart assistant lies massive data centers that consumes enormous electricity. Here are some facts. Training one single large AI model emits as much carbon dioxide as 5 cars. 5 cars over their lifetime. These models often rely on fossil fuels, adding up to global warming.
That's not all. Rare minerals like lithium and cobalt used in chips are mined in the ways that damage our ecosystem and displaces communities. But to its paradox comes that AI is not just a problem, but can also be a solution. If used wisely, AI can be the guardian of our environment.
AI is changing our world, but with great power comes great responsibility. As we explore AI's impact on environment, we focus on 3 key ideas. First, how AI supports UN's SDG 9, industries, innovation and infrastructure, and SDG 13, climate action. Second, how AI can drive sustainable innovation without harming nature. Third, the need to balance AI's rapid progress with its environmental impact.
Artificial intelligence is the ability of machines to mimic human intelligence, like thinking, learning, and decision making. AI helps in optimizing renewable energy grids.
Clearly, AI has 2 faces, but it totally depends upon us that how we build the one that does not harm but heals. The environment is the foundation of our life. When we will protect it, we will protect our future. But when we will harm it, we will harm ourselves.
Advantages of AI: efficiency and speed. AI processes large data quickly, boosting productivity. Better decisions, from healthcare to weather. AI improves accuracy and timing. Personalization. AI enhances our experiences on apps and learning platforms.
Environmental monitoring. AI tracks pollution, manages energy, and optimizes resources. Task automation. AI handles repetitive tasks, saving time and increasing efficiency.
Challenges of AI: high energy use. Training AI leads to the increasing use of electricity, which leads to emission. And don't forget the mountains of e-waste, which cause pollution of soil and water. Job loss. Replacing workers at repetitive job leads to the increasing risk of unemployment.
Bias and discern human prejudices from flawed data. Privacy concerns. AI often uses personal data and raising ethical questions. Over-dependence. Too much reliance on AI may limit human thinking.
AI still can be a powerful ally in sustainable development. It optimizes energy use, manages scarce resources, and helps drive green innovation. Now let's see what's being done, especially in India.
India is stepping up with bold initiatives. Under Digital India, Green AI is priority. The National AI Mission, which promotes inclusive, eco-conscious innovations.
Initiatives like Airavat focus on open sources, energy-efficient AI models. These efforts align with the vision, make AI in India, make AI work for India.
In smart cities, AI manages traffic, reduces waste, and optimizes water systems. India also collaborates globally to share and develop sustainable technologies.
We used both qualitative and quantitative research, and our findings are clear. Here in India, everything that depends is really needed done by AI, and we are here to protect our world. The world is waking up with green AI, but the actions are to be taken more deeper and faster.
Now comes the big question. Who is responsible? Governments must invest in clean AI and enforce ethical policies. Companies must adopt green coding and eco-friendly systems. And we, students and citizens, must stay informed and act responsibly.
Even small actions like turning off devices, choosing sustainable apps, and spreading awareness can lead to change. AI is powerful, but power without responsibility leads to destruction.
The future belongs to the one who cracks the code of being conscious, has an innovative mind with empathy, and has a long-term vision. We don't need smarter machines. We need a smarter, greener world.
Let's redefine progress. Let's envision 2025. Thank you.
Really a wonderful presentation by Team 2. Now let us welcome Team 3. Their topic is prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI. And the participants are Renuka Jagdai, grade 8, Sanskruti Londe, grade 9, and Shreya Bajaj, grade 10. Over to you, Team 3. All the very best to you.
Everyone, this discussion centers on the topic of prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI, a topic of critical intelligence in the future of technology. Proceeding further, my teammate Shreya Bajaj will continue. As AI becomes woven into fabric of our lives, we stand at defining crossroads. Will we widen the gap between us, or will we shape it as bridge for deeper human connection? AI that not only functions but truly feels with us, for us and beside us. The choice is ours and time is now. This roadmap shows the journey of AI in aviation, from basic flight controls in 1950s to advanced AI in commercial and space tech today. Each decade brought breakthroughs. From navigating system and early computing, AI has become a vital part of modern aerospace innovation. Now, let us understand why human-centered AI is so important. At its core, it puts people first. It doesn't just complete tasks, it collaborates, making sure that feelings, experiences are considered from start. This approach not only creates AI trust, it builds trust, but makes it relatable and adaptable. Universities like Stanford have institutes dedicated to human-centered AI. So, we must understand the importance of it. Now let's look human-centered AI versus traditional AI. The difference is clear. Traditional AI primarily focuses on speed and efficiency. It automates tasks based on its capability. But human-centered AI goes further. It doesn't just complete tasks, it collaborates, it responds thoughtfully, it understands our emotions. So, this is what makes the future of responsible technology. Over to Rekha. Let's begin with one of the most crucial and often overlooked challenges, AI-induced hallucinations. These occur when AI misinterprets human emotions, especially in facial or vocal recognition. It might confidently label someone as angry or anxious when they are not, leading to serious consequences in contexts such as education, healthcare, and law enforcement. These problems arise from limited data, biased models, and over-reliance on flawed signals. Moving to second concern, psychological harm. When AI misinterprets human emotions, it can create a feeling of being misunderstood or even judged. Over time, this can damage mental well-being, causing distress, low confidence, or even isolation. This is especially dangerous in systems that make decisions about people without human empathy involved. Lastly, we face issues of accountability. When no one is clearly answerable for an AI's action, trust breaks down. Faulty decisions may go unsaid, and users are left with no path to challenge or correct them. This makes empathy and transparency not just important but absolutely necessary. Now, let's proceed with solutions presented by Sanskrit. Let's now look at 5 powerful ways we can make AI truly human-centered, not just in theory, but in everyday use. First, the AI watchdog. This acts like a real-time supervisor for AI system. Its role is to observe decisions, track patterns, and flag anything that seems biased, unethical, or harmful. Think of it as a safeguard that ensures AI follows rules and treats people fairly. Just as humans are held accountable for their actions, AI too needs oversight. Without this, trust in AI system quickly erodes. The watchdog helps build a transparent, check and balance system within AI processes. Applications such as FaceApp have faced criticism over privacy concerns. However, in this context, an AI watchdog ensures transparency and protection of user privacy. Second, intentional disconnection prompts. In an always-on digital world, these prompts are gentle reminders for the users to pause, reflect, or take a break. They prevent emotional burnout and encourage healthy interaction with technology. Imagine an AI that senses when a conversation is getting overwhelming and softly suggests, "Would you like a moment to breathe?" It adds a layer of care, reminding us that mental well-being should come before non-stop engagement. Third, slow AI movement. Speed isn't always the best part. Sometimes a slower, more thoughtful response can help AI answer in more emotionally intelligent ways. Slow AI movements allow time for the user to reflect and for the system to deliver more nuanced, more empathetic replies. It shifts the focus from reacting fast to responding meaningfully, just like we do in real relationships. Fourth, cultural context modules. These are essential for making AI truly inclusive. AI can often mislead intent, tone, or meaning when it doesn't understand cultural background. Cultural context modules help AI to adapt, whether it is understanding regional slang, interpreting gestures properly, or respecting traditions. And finally, emotional reflection mechanism. These enable AI to reflect and recognize emotion cues, such as tone of voice, facial expression, or word choices. This is not just about AI feeling emotions, but responding in a way that acknowledges them. If someone is sad or frustrated, the AI could gently shift its tone or offer support. This makes AI feel less like a cold machine and more like a thoughtful companion. It is about designing AI in a way of empathy and accountability. These foundational principles such as transparency, inclusivity, empathy, and users' control are not just ideals. They are the scaffoldings that hold up truly human-centered AI systems. From Spotify's music personalization to AI in healthcare, real-world examples show how emotional intelligence in machines can lead to better outcomes for businesses and for people. In the end, truly, human-centered AI isn't just about smarter machines. It's about a kinder, wiser system that listens, adapts, and uplifts. If we design it with empathy and accountability, we don't just improve technology, we elevate humanity. Thank you for your attention.
Presentation by Team 3. Let us welcome Team 4. The topic is encouraging environmentally sustainable AI. And the participants are Aditi Deshpande, Grade 8, Ishwari Vyavhare, Grade 9, Vedika Sahane, Grade 10. Over to you, Team 4. All the very best to you.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and all my fellow competitors. We are Team 4 and I am Ishwari Vyavhare with my teammates Vedika Sahane and Aditi Deshpande. And today, let's walk through an everyday street which we often find dirty and messy. But you know what? It can be made clean, efficient and smart just with a smart dustbin. Interesting, right? A road, a city where technology doesn't just wait for appreciation but just silently works to save our planet, which means encouraging everybody with practical solutions. And today we are going to show the concept of environmentally sustainable AI to solve a very common yet big problem, that is poor waste management. Solving problem through AI doesn't just end with building intelligence but making it environmentally sustainable and bearing the responsibilities that comes with it. So I think that before turning towards big world issues, why can't we start with an everyday basic issue, that is poor waste management. We all have been through a situation where we walk on a road and suddenly a strong bad smell hits. Yes, of an overflowing bin. And then we hold our breath and walk faster. But what about those people who are living nearby? Literally a disaster for them. And you will be shocked that India alone generates over 62 million tons of waste annually. And unfortunately, less than 30% of it is scientifically treated, while the substantial parts remain scattered or dumped in unmanaged landfills. Yes, you are absolutely right. But we always think that who is responsible for this? Citizens, cleaning staff, or the poor dustbin itself. But the truth is, no one. Yes, because it's the shared responsibility between us and the management. It's our responsibility to dispose the waste properly. But maybe the system is lacking somewhere. Whoever's fault it may be, but the results are same. Foul smell, unpleasant surroundings, spread of diseases, and it's also about the blind gases of the trucks and the fuel, time and resources that are wasted and the manpower that is misused. So, we thought, what if the bean could talk? Not literally of course, but what if it could warn at 75% and alert at 100% by just triggering a LED and a buzzer in the collection office? Think, other bins say use me even when they are overflowing, but our bin will say, excuse me, empty me first. And also what if it doesn't switch off till the time the bin is not emptied, meaning no ignorance to the dustbin. Finally, the poor dustbin will get some relief. It's like your dustbin finally gets a voice and brain. Here enters our project, a waste management hero, our dustbin, that constantly displays the level of waste inside it on the LED of the collection office and alerts at the right time just using an Arduino Nano and ultrasonic sensors to sense the level. But the question arises that have we tested the prototype fully on a large scale? The answer is no. But let's be real. Every big change starts with a small step. But what if students like us lay that step? So, we successfully designed and tested our small-scale prototype, which gives us the definite confidence that it can be used in real towns and cities. Our Smart Dustbin project is ready to thrive, but what it needs is just a proper field where it will speak. And when it does, we believe definitely the cities will listen. It's not always just about the innovation, but also the intention. Every time we reduce an unnecessary truck trip, we reduce the carbon footprint, because every second saved is a second earned for the environment. This is where SmartBin becomes more than a project. It becomes an inspiration to youth, a way of building tech that doesn't ask for applause but gives it back to the planet. Yes, Aditi, you're absolutely right. It reminds us that intelligence is not in doing more, but in doing better. So we thought, why stop here? So we have a future advancement plan ready for it. Imagine a dustbin saying, excuse me sir, ma'am, that goes in the compost tunnel, not with a chips wrapper. Meaning a compost tunnel beneath the smart dustbin, where the waste will turn into gold. Not literally of course, means manure for farms and plants. We also envisage a solar-powered smart bin and a city where trucks go only where needed, not roaming around through empty lanes, guessing which bin is full. Smart bin is not just a bin. It's a belief that small minds can build big changes, that students can solve civic problems, and then AI can serve Earth too if we build it right. It's not only about building a smart waste management system, it's about building a smart, sustainable and green city, town, village, but step by step with innovation, ideas and with the proper action. Let's not just build, but encourage others too through the journey. Smart minds, clean streets, with sustainable AI, the future repeats. Thank you.
Impressive presentation by Team 4. Sir, Shivam Pimpre, Grade 8, Aradhya Gaur, Grade 9, and Riyan Apde, Grade 10. Your time starts now.
Technology is a marvelous servant, but a terrible master. Good morning, esteemed judges, respected teachers, and curious minds. Imagine a teacher using AI to give personalized learning experience to her students. For that teacher, AI is a game changer, helping her give students the attention they need.
But what if the AI starts focusing too much on data, forgetting the human element?
Today, we'll explore how we can make sure AI stays in the service of humans, not the other way around. Whether you're a student, a lecturer, or a business professional, this conversation affects us all.
As we begin, I, Riya,
I, Aradhya,
And I, Shivam,
will take you on the journey. 25 are so important. They classify high-risk AI systems and enforce transparency, ensuring developers are accountable.
whether it is in education, social media, or healthcare, AI must be rooted in ethics. Otherwise, it will uproot human dignity.
And when human dignity is lost, even the most intelligent AI becomes meaningless. But who is responsible for ensuring that AI is developed and used ethically?
AI development isn't just the work of engineers or tech companies. Researchers, policymakers, and end users all play critical roles in shaping the future of AI.
Researchers push the boundaries of what AI can do, engineers build systems, policymakers set ethical guidelines, and
AI is becoming an integral part of our lives.
Behind the statistics are real people, patients, learners, citizens whose lives are being reshaped.
But as we adopt these technologies, it's important to ask, how do we ensure that these advancements continue to serve human needs and not just technological goals?
With AI growing at this pace, how do we ensure it meets our needs rather than overwhelming us? It starts with thoughtful design. Design that focuses on human interaction.
It's not enough for AI to be efficient. It must be clear, personalized, and constantly evolving based on the feedbacks.
AI is no longer just a tool. It's becoming a partner, a creator, and an actor in our world. From helping artists create new works to assisting engineers with complex designs, AI is shifting from a support role to one of collaboration.
But this shift raises critical questions.
How do we ensure that AI enhances human creativity rather than competing with it?
How do we maintain control and make sure that AI serves our best interests?
Now that we have seen how AI is transforming the way we work, let's look at two real-world examples of AI empowering people.
First, an e-commerce company faced long wait times and falling satisfaction. By using AI chatbots for routine queries, they cut wait times by 30% and boosted satisfaction, freeing humans to solve real issues.
But AI's role doesn't just end in commerce. In 2025, Bangladesh faced Cyclone Mitra, a deadly storm. Traditionally, delayed forecasts led to massive losses. But this time, AI analyzed real-time satellite data and historical trends to predict the cyclone's path with 92% accuracy.
This helped authorities evacuate thousands on time, reducing fatalities by 40%. AI even sent alerts in local languages, empowering, not replacing human effort.
As the UNDP report said, technology saves lives, not by replacing humans, but by empowering them.
On a global scale, AI's growth rate is staggering. By 2025, AI is expected to create over 27 million jobs worldwide. And by 2030, the AI market rate is projected to reach an astonishing $15 trillion. These statistics remind us that AI is reshaping industries,
Creating opportunities,
but also prompting us to consider the potential disruptions.
But the question remains, how do we prepare for these changes, ensuring AI benefits everyone?
The future of AI is exciting.
From quantum, AI synergy to AI-powered mental health tools, the future is about deeper, faster, and more human-driven support.
But whatever the innovation, AI must be anchored in values and not just velocity.
As we have seen, AI offers incredible opportunities, but it comes with responsibilities. Students, you are the future users and developers of AI.
lecturers, you are preparing the next generation to engage with AI ethically.
Business professionals, you are already shaping how AI is used in the workplace.
We must prioritize human well-being in every aspect of AI development, from collaborative innovations to empowering users.
Imagine Imagine a world where AI helps doctors save lives and where businesses connect, not just convert.
That's the future we must build. A future that works hand in hand with inclusion.
This is not just a possibility, it is a moral imperative. As we depart from this discourse, let us not merely create machines that think. Let us create machines that care. For in the end, the true test of our technological age is not just how smart our machines become, but how wise we remain. Thank you.
Wow, that was really a wonderful presentation by Team 5. The topic is prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI. And the participants are Anuj Bondre, Grade 8, Tanaya Rahul, Grade 9, Rutu Gaikwad, Grade 10. Over to you, Team 6. All the very best to you.
Everyone. Myself, Rutu Gaikwad, and our topic is prioritizing human-centered interaction with AI. So, we would like to introduce ourselves.
Good morning. Myself, Anuj Bondre.
Good morning, myself Tanaya Arjun Rao. AI is not our life, it is easier, not colder. So, do you know what is human-centered AI? AI is the remarkable ability of think, learn and solving problems like humans. It allows computer to understand languages, recognize images, make decisions and even improve themselves over time. From voice assistant to self-driving car, AI is transforming the way that we live, work and connect with the world. It's just not of the future. AI is shaping our present and opening doors to endless possibilities.
So, do you know what are the key principles of interaction? As we know, key principles of interaction are of many types. But the core principles of interactions are three. First is accessibility. We all know accessibility is important in our day-to-day life. Accessibility means to ensure that AI is usable for all, including those who are disabled to broaden engagement. Second is simplicity. Simplicity means that design should be clear and understandable. To ensure that design is clear, it will reduce the users' confusion and mental load. Third is empathy. Empathy is known as the most important core principles of AI because it shows that understanding should be clear and usable by users' emotion. It will conduct that understanding is done by the empathy and creates genuine connection between users and AI.
So, do you know what are benefits of prioritizing users? When we put users first, everything gets better. Their need guide our choice, leading to smarter design, smoother experiences and many more. When people interact with each other, they revise that they should come back. Happy users come back and they bring others with them. This means more growth, better reputation and long-term success. Simply, we can say like that, when we care about our users, they will also care about us. So, do you know what are strategies of engagement?
Let me introduce it to you. Strategies of engagement is nothing but observation and feedback. Observation means that AI observes our behavior and what we search on the panels. Feedback is what that we give to AI or to a company that this is not working properly or this is not up to my expectations. So, this is what strategies of engagement stands for. The main strategy of engagement is observation and feedback.
Creating intuitive interfaces. And intuitive interfaces means making AI easy to use and understands without needing any instructions. When people interact with AI naturally, it means they face with it confidence and enjoyable movement.
Building trust in AI system. Trusted AI means easy to understand, feel safe and keeps people in check. When AI system explain their thinking, respect privacy, involve users and operate with clear accountability, people naturally trust them more. It's not about to hide smart algorithms, it's about to work with humans, not to replace them.
Trust in AI grows through transparency, user control, and education about its benefits, and builds confidence and encourage engagement.
So by this, we know that human-centered AI leads to better experience, stronger trust, and higher engagement. By prioritizing human-centered AI, we can get the higher trust builds and the communication becomes more wider and more ethical. We have to prioritize AI because the conclusion of human-centered AI goes through a trust-building process, and thinking that this process would be ethical and important for our project. So, by AI system is getting introduction, user-friendly systems, and creating many features in AI. So we all need to focus in needs and originate the system by trust creating and building trust with AI. So by this, I would like to say that smart machines are needed, but kind machines needed more. So by this, I would like to conclude our presentation by saying thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful presentation by Team 6. Now let us welcome Team 7. Harsh Devre, Grade 8, Bhumi Chodia, Grade 9, and Arohi Sangare, Grade 10. Your time starts now.
Good morning, everyone. Artificial intelligence is a tool, not a threat. I, Harsh Devre of Grade 8,
I, Bhumi Chodia of grade 9.
And I, Arohi of grade 10. We are here today to give our oral presentation on the topic encouraging environmentally sustainable AI.
AI is a powerful tool for tackling environmental sustainability across sectors like energy, conservation, waste management, and agriculture.
Introduction. AI technologies, particularly large-scale machine learning models, often require significant computational power which can translate into a high energy use and carbon footprint.
The key applications of AI are: AI can help us build a very good future together. It can be a boon for us if it is used responsibly. It can help both humans and nature.
These are the challenges and considerations. Use renewable energy, consumption, hardware dependencies and e-waste, data privacy and bias, lack of transparency and accountability, and the rebound effect.
The steps towards sustainable AI are: we can use it very nicely. First of all, we have to use it responsibly. It is dependent upon the person who uses it, whether he is using it with good intentions or not. It can help us build a very good infrastructure for India, and then it can help animals, it can help medical industry and education sector as well.
The review of the issue. The AI use the hunger power, the computer and the data centers. This creates a e-waste, water pollution, and the carbon emission. Example, the training of the huge AI model is equal to same as the power of the 5 cars in a year. The water consumption, the energy consumption, and the electronic waste and greenhouse gases.
Why it matters? It matters because the rapid growth of AI is more power equals to more pollution, which is leading our earth warm. And we wouldn't want the technology which damages our globe, right? Would we? But we would definitely want the one which keeps our planet healthy.
These are the methods for making AI green. Use renewable energy for data centers, build smaller energy-saving AI models, use eco-friendly hardware, and train models only whenever in need.
Tools and practices. Use the tools like a Code Carbon to use to track energy. Use a Google Cloud to increase the use of green power.
This is how we can help our planet. This is the summary of whatever we have said.
Sustainable AI in action. AI uses smart farms to save our energy and water. The AI is used in a predict the forest fire and the pollution. The AI is also used by the companies to do a zero net goals.
Results: green AI equals to less pollution plus smarter technology. It can help us create a better future together. In the conclusion, I would like to say that AI is a very powerful tool if it is used in a nice way. The summary of all of the PPTs.
These are the references we took inspiration from.
These are the copyright concerns. पर्यावरण नाशे नश्यति सर्वजनत्व भवनः दृष्टता याति प्रकृति विकृता याते. This means due to pollution and destruction of our environment, all beings are getting destroyed, wind is getting vicious, and nature is getting hostile.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a spellbinding presentation by Team 7. Now, I would like to request our Honorable Jury Member, Dr. Shelly Asthana Ma'am, to address the gathering.
And Manish. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected principal and the organizer of this conference, I would say the brainchild of this conference rather, Shikha ma'am, my fellow jury members, Kejal ma'am, Parvez sir, all the mentors of the representative teams and the organizing team, the teachers, all the participants, teachers and the audience. First of all, I would request all the participants especially to give yourself a heartfelt, claps. It really requires a lot of guts to come here and express yourself. As I always tell this to my students, that it's very easy to sit on the other side of the classroom and make faces, sometimes sleep or giggle, or even once in a blue moon listen to what is being happening. But it's very difficult to come on the other side and face this audience. Well, let me tell you one thing, participants, that you should really thank your mentors very much wholeheartedly, who actually trained you to come here, who actually gave you this confidence to stand here. And let me tell you one more thing, that such things are going to help you in the future ahead. And I can tell you this from my own experience. Way back when I was studying, when I was in my college, it was one of my mentors, one of my lecturers, who actually promoted me, who actually encouraged me to participate in one of the state level debating competitions. And believe me, I was such a bad, public speaker that I used to actually tremble, which used to be evident. On the stage it was very much clear. I used to hem a lot. But thanks to that person, thanks to that mentor of mine, who actually worked on every tiny aspect of my flaws and made me, rather pushed me to take part into that competition. One competition led to a number of competitions, and that is how the public speaking developed. So as I am telling you that you may not be getting the gravity now, you may not be understanding the importance, but 10 years down the line, you will definitely remember this mentor of yours who actually trained you to bring here, who actually gave you this confidence, which actually would help you in the future ahead. Well, I will not speak much about the presentations because I have two more jury members sitting with me who are much more proficient and who are better speakers than me. So let them take care of that. I just want to talk about a little bit about the technical aspects which may help you in presenting yourself in a better manner next time. When I was going through the papers, first of all, I must congratulate you all that all of you prepared beautiful papers. The language was immaculate. Basically something which admire and actually I I was really, blown away with some of the papers. I must tell you this. The format was very good. However, I would request all of you, and this is something which was again told by one of my teachers when I was doing my research. Let me tell you, when I was doing my PhD specifically. See, instead of going for complicated sentences, why not go for simple sentences? I have seen in most of the papers that you preferred complicated sentences over the simple sentences. Maybe if you can keep the language a little bit simple, the sentence is simple, it will help you in presenting the things here. Because once you prepare the paper, remember that you also need to present it here. So that is something which you need to take care of. Secondly, when we talk about the methods, one of the points was methodology used, methods used. Some of you thought that basically you are required to talk about the methods adopted by different people, It was not that. The organizers were expecting you to talk about the methods you used in the papers. I understand it's a very common mistake. Methodology is something which is very, very, technical word. And perhaps that's the reason that even the PhD students, once after registration, they need to take up a course in research methodology especially. However, let me tell you one very simple thing, that when you need to talk about the methods, you can simply say that you actually adopted the secondary data method. The tools and collections of data. You took the secondary source. You referred a number of journals. You referred a number of books to prepare the paper. That's it. You don't need to research about the methods used by various organizations. It's not required. So these are some of the things which I can tell you. Once again, congratulations. I will not take much of your time because I know that all of you are awaiting the results and you have been sitting here since morning. So let's not, increase the torture much. So let me end here. Once again, thank you very much, and before ending, I would really like to express my heartfelt gratitude to the organizers for arranging such a beautiful event and inviting me here. Thank you so much.
So much, Ma.
Now, I would like to request our honorable jury member, Dr. Parvez Aslam sir, to address the gathering.
Honorable Principal of the school, Ms. Shikha Srivastava ma'am, my co-jury members, Dr. Shaili Asthana ma'am, then Kejal ma'am, all the coordinators as well as participants, teaching staff, the supporting staff we have here, administrative staff. A very good morning to all of you. I at the outset must say this thing that Shikha ma'am, she's really doing an Herculean task in the field of research now. And we should give a round of an applause to her. Because for the last 4 years I have been here and I can observe, the kind of involvement it requires, the meticulous planning as well as hard work, then even, you have to be in touch with us like we so-called busy people we are. So always reminding us and then torturing otherwise sometimes we don't reply also on WhatsApp also. The kind of, she has already created a group and we have to stick to the format and the dates and everything, but we have, all these things she has been doing really well. And talking about research, Shaili ma'am have said so many things. I have been involved in, organizing a few international conferences, I think 5 or 7, few national conferences, more than 30 I would say. And the kind of papers we get there, though, it's very boring. Like, and post-lunch session, everybody sleeps. the paper presenters, they are presenting their papers, and here it is very interesting. You know, this is something innovative, this is something new, that a paper can be presented in this way also, that the participants are moving here and there, the expressions, gestures, involvement, even as a jury member you have to take care of everything, like, you know, and who's smiling, who's not smiling, who's involved, who's confident, who's not having that kind of a courage, and presenting even the kind of language you are using. You are saying privacy or privacy, that we have to take care of also, like, you know, so because you are coming from an English medium school, and you know, we need to pay attention to the pronunciation also, though we have, you know, different kinds of pronunciation. We have Indian pronunciation also nowadays, you know, so but then, you know, we need to stick to some kind of a formula. And I felt like this, like while comparing that, the kind of thing I do, you know, at that level of higher education, and the way we are getting here at this level is something that we should also introduce at that level also, that we should be that kind of energetic, you know, not that boring way. The kind of smiling faces we get and the kind of involvement and you're talking about so much of great things. AI and, you know, sustainable goals, and we never thought about the sustainable goals with AI, you know, and that how this can be, you know, mixed, blended with. So I really felt happy that I could learn so many things here, how to present at least the kind of papers. We have PPT presentations and we have, you know, paper reading sessions, but this way is not there. So congratulations all the participants for their, you know, presentations, their research papers. Shalini ma'am has talked about the, you know, methodology and research structures, designs, but you know, it's not that much easy to talk about research at this level, you know, like you are in 8th standard, 9th standard and 10th standard. I have an experience of you know, guiding at least 10 students. 10 students of mine have completed PhD. So it's not easy. It's not very easy. Even having a synopsis is very difficult. Nowadays, ChatGPT is helping you, but then also having a synopsis, preparing a synopsis is very difficult task. And you are preparing a paper. You know, at least at this level, we never thought about writing a speech also in this format, and you are writing a paper, abstract, keywords, then research methodology, then, you know, you are coming to the main content and then concluding it, and then you are also mentioning about your resources, and then again the certificate is being, you know, there, that it is not a, you don't have any kind of a plagiarism and other things. So this is something, it's very, you know, it's a learning experience for all of us, and you are getting the training at this level. So I can imagine, you know, after 10 years when you will be, you know, in your fields, where you will be working in this field of research and innovation, this will definitely help. You know, as a teacher has, ma'am has shared that incident, you know, we all have our mentors, and we know that how in our weaknesses they have helped us. And to overcome our weaknesses, we have always looked up to our teachers, and we always remember them. Now we remember them here when we are standing here, that how many difficulties we face at that time. So the same thing, this will definitely, I feel like, you know, the initiative taken by Jain International will definitely have few of us from this group that will definitely be a very, you know, they will do wonders in the field of research. Definitely, because this is a very big task. It's not that one that it requires lots of work, and, you know, especially it requires scholarship. It's not an easy thing, and you reading few books at this level. Even the mentors, the coordinators, they do a great job here. We can see the differences also in presentation, and definitely, you know, winning and losing is just a part of, you know, that a competition. I would just say that you just compete with yourself. Don't think of others. See, take it like what I did today and what improvements I need to make. We can learn from others and forget about the things that okay, that we are not winning, or this time we have lost, or some next time. Think of just competing with yourself. Definitely there are many opportunities ahead. The future is yours. The sky is the limit. You can go on, you know, you'll have lots of opportunities and competition. You can go on presenting yourself and appearing in different exams, but then compete with yourself. Think that every day, how can I change my personality and my persona? What are the traits of personality that I need to concentrate on? And that is what is required as a student to learn here in your, the institutions. Now, I would also like to mention here, by witnessing all these previous events also, I feel like this event is definitely taken up very seriously by the team Gen International, and we know that, as is the head, so is the institution. And so we can definitely talk about this. I feel like we have all learned in this MAd and BAd that how our institution needs to be developed, and how the vision, that envision we have here, that vision our director or the team needs to have, and that can be achieved, or that goal can be achieved at least. That is what we all mentors and teachers needs to guide our students also in future. Lastly, I would say that being a part of competition, I remember I think John Greenleaf, his one line that is I would like to quote here, that rest you must, okay, but don't you quit. So in life, if you want to take some rest, definitely we all need a rest, but we should not quit, and that kind of a spirit you should always have. I sincerely congratulate all the participants for giving your best in this competition, and I express my gratitude to the principal, the management, and the team Gen for inviting me as a jury member here, and looking forward to the other events in future also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now, I would like to request our Honorable Jury Member, Dr. Kejal Bharsakle ma'am, to address the gathering.
And I'm grateful to the visionary principal Shikha Srivastava ma'am and the entire team of JGI School for giving me this opportunity to stand here today. And yes, while I was reviewing the research paper, most of you have given a spectacular to the format and the research work that we have seen. There is one thing I definitely feel, that is hope. Hope that our next generation innovators are not just intelligent, but are responsible and visionary. And most importantly, you're conscious. So yes, Envision is not just the competition to write papers, but it's a platform where you all can showcase that you are really solving some real world problems. And it's a powerful Envision 2025 with this topic today, which is so befitting. And you all have looked into the matter like climate change, carbon footprints, then bias in machines, and how ethics plays the role in technology as well. So definitely this has proven in your research papers, abstract, everything. AI is definitely shaping the future, but you all are shaping the future, how AI will serve humanity and environment. So yes, a big round of applause for all participants who have been participating in this powerful Envision 2025. Good to see you all participants and mentors. I would like to mention here that we just don't need coders. We also need conscious creators like you. We just don't need innovators, but we need impact. And yes, all your projects have, whether they have involved a smart bean or a sustainable data kind of centers or in ethical AI, definitely you all have taken great efforts in writing the abstract, research, and most importantly today's presentation.
As rightly Hassan Ahmed told and sir has already mentioned that technical part and how it all takes to come here and speak. So I won't take much of your time, but I would definitely wish if I could give trophies to each one of you. But yes, the declared winners are few based on the abstract, the research, evaluation and all those things, wherein there are various parameters that we have to do evaluation based on the relevance to the topic, the words, how many you have written as all the technical part. Again, the oral presentation contains lot of evaluation based on your confidence, your communication, pronunciation. So yes, next time when you all come prepared with all these parameters that are being taken care, as Varve sir has said, if we can involve in our new age presentation as well. Yes, most of you are doing really great, but next time, as this is just not the winning or something, as I said, I urge each and every student who are here to not just take this as an competition or to just stop here. But I would like to request all the mentors or principals who can support them to help these students to publish their papers. They can publish, even they can collaborate. Thank you so much for sharing, ma'am. Yes. So yes, I would request other teachers as well to put up to your principals to just not take this as a presentation, but to publish them, to help them to collaborate as well. They may fail, they may retry, but they may definitely lead, because these research papers has a power to change minds and definitely in future to change policies. So yes, this mindset is powerful, this mindset is leadership. So congratulations to all the participants, and I wish you all lots of love and best wishes for all your future endeavors. And congratulations to the success of today's event, to the JGI team, and a big thank you for making me part of the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. 2025, where innovation meets brilliance and creativity takes center stage.
Before we announce the winners, let us take a moment to applaud each and every team who participated today. You all displayed exceptional ideas, teamwork and passion. You are all winners in your own right. And now, let's unveil the champions of Envision 2025.
The best abstract award goes to Team 2, Greenfield International School. May I now request the respected 6, Greenfield International School. May I now request the respected dignitaries to kindly do the honors.
May I now request respected dignitaries to kindly do the honors.
Congratulations, Team 7. The best oral presentation award goes to Team 2, Universal High School. Where there is a tie for the Best Speaker Award. From Team 2, we have Anvesha Jain, and from Team 5, we have Rihanna Afle. The respected dignitaries to kindly do the honors.
The spirit of participation and enthusiasm shown by all the teams. To honor your presence and contribution to Envision, we would now request to present each team mementos. As respected Principal Ma'am and honorable dignitaries to kindly do the honors. May I now call Team 1 and the coordinators on the dais. May I now request respectable dignitaries to kindly give them a token of thanks. May I now request respectable dignitaries to kindly give them a token of thanks. May I now call Team 4. May I now request respected dignitaries to kindly do the honors.
The coordinators to come on the dais.
to the future generations. And I think through you, if a little bit of change, we are making our efforts. I think that is very important. We can't just keep sulking and keep sitting for not doing anything and watch for others to do our bit as well. So you have done a very good justifiable job here and there. If few things you did not find good or maybe you're not happy about, it is just a passing phase. I think you people are all resilient, warriors, courageous set of educators and the students. And next year, keep coming back with a lot of resounding energy and synergy. Okay, and keep researching, keep reading good journals. Okay, keep kind of getting good information and keep involving and implementing into your day-to-day lives and make the society aware about the things, okay, which they are needed to be aware of. Okay, so with this, I definitely will sign off, but my heart really goes out to each one of you. You all are students very close to my heart. Maybe I'm directly teaching you or I'm not teaching you directly, but believe me, you are the future generation. Isn't it? About you and what kind of personality you are going to become in future. So all the best to all of you. Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar students are going to rock. Be it Dutch End, be it Universal, be it Nyanda, be it Nath Valley, be it any school. The students of Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar must rock. Isn't it? In the entire globe. So all the very best to all of you, and from a very, very humble heart, my thanks must be conveyed to all the principals, and a great amount of thanks to all the coordinators who actually helped these students. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Team members, invited dignitaries, respected principal ma'am, vice principal ma'am, HODs, teachers, parents and students. Good afternoon to all of you. It is my honor and privilege to extend a vote of thanks on this August occasion. Will Arnett once said, "I'm happy because I'm grateful. I choose to be grateful." that gratitude allows me to be happy. With this quote, my heartfelt gratitude goes out to our jury members. I'm thankful to respected Dr. Shaili Asthana ma'am, Dr. Parvez Aslam sir, and Dr. Kejal Bharsakhle ma'am for evaluating the context, providing the valuable inputs and encouraging the morale of the speakers. A special mention to our respected principal, Ms. Shikha Srivastava ma'am, for bestowing constant support and motivation throughout the process, right from the inception of the idea and also during the whole process of taking the utmost care of the nitty-gritty of the event. Her constant drive stimulated us to do our best and standing as pillars of strength. Ma'am's leadership has an everlasting impact on the young minds and the team since her advent in JGI. My heartfelt thanks to our respected Vice Principal, Ms. Deepti Saraf ma'am, for the smooth conduction of the event with precision and utmost care. My heartfelt thanks to our coordinators, Ms. Rekha Thakur ma'am, Ms. Paramjit Oberoi ma'am, and Ms. Shilpa Garrison ma'am for being instrumental throughout and being a constant source of motivation and inspiration. A vision like this can't happen overnight. It requires planning and a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of proactive and dedicated staff of our institution. I must thank Ms. Jayashri Jaibhai ma'am and Ms. Shilpa Garrison ma'am for grooming the compass for the eloquence and fluency, which has raised the bars by multitudes. Thank you to Ms. Suvarna Tongire ma'am for grooming in-house participants. I would like to thank the people who supported behind the scenes to make this event a successful one. Thank you to our school's graphic designer, Mr. Praful Bhoyar sir, who tirelessly worked right from conceptualizing and making creative for the event. Thank you so much, sir. I'm thankful to Ms. Mansi Suradkar ma'am for the beautiful mementos. I thank Mr. Arun Kaide sir and Ms. Asavari ma'am for making beautiful handmade invitation card for the dignitaries. Your artistic contribution made the event more special and lively. My heartfelt gratitude goes to Ms. Aparna Yevlikar ma'am and Ms. Ruhina Sheikh ma'am for the attractive and eye-catchy PowerPoint slideshow, which has truly added the glamour to the entire event. Thank you to Mr. Yogesh sir for the technical support. Thank you to Mr. Ruturaj sir and Ms. Sonali ma'am for the mesmerizing welcome dance. Thank you to Mr. Anikesh sir, Mr. Ganesh Tupe sir and Ms. Ashwini ma'am for piloting the students. Thank you to Mr. Vinay sir and Mr. Ganesh Badak sir for grooming the students for the welcome song. I thank wholeheartedly the CCA in charges, Ms. Anita Petty ma'am and Ms. Swati Hazaria ma'am for taking care backstage. With a deep sense of appreciation, we thank our teachers for their untiring efforts. I must thank the compass, Viraj, Ruthvi, Anish and Arna for the flawless comparing. Our sincere gratitude goes to all the schools who have participated along with their head in charges and coordinators and made this event a grand success. Without your support, children would not have been able to achieve excellence. I am deeply thankful to all the non-teaching admin staff and supporting staff of TGIS Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar for helping and assisting in the smooth functioning of the event. I am also thankful to all the Apex body members and volunteers for their active cooperation and support. I am thankful to the transport department, drivers and escorts for bringing us to school safely every day. I am also thankful to the cafeteria department for making delicious food for us. In the end, let me thank you all once again. Because of you all, this event has become grander and more memorable. Thank you. Have a nice day. Jai Hind.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे